should he ever be free?
I mean, okay, to be honest, realistically, he did it when he was what, 18? I ain't gonna lie, he did do some nut shit, but at 18, if he goes through like a real rehabilitation program, I don't see why not. Welcome back to the Nine today. We're reacting to UVXCX. I'm glad Tay K is gone. Let's get into it.
I know I previously talked
Reacting to I'm glad Tay K is gone. Let's get into it. Nah, that's fake though.
about
That's
Tay
not
K
me.
in my Raps
That's not
Wasted
me.
Potential video, but because I had other artists to hit in that video, I really didn't have time to flesh out like my true thoughts and points on like why it's such a travesty that we lost him as an artist. And yes, I said as an artist, not as a person. Keep that nigga in there. But I really do feel like Tay K is the biggest example of what you should, you know, literally never ever do. So because 1090 Jake already broke down the case to a T, I'm not even too much gonna try and speak on the logistics of this case. I just want to tell y'all a brief, summed up story. And while I'm telling this story, try to catch every mistake that was made from Tay K's end, because there are quite a few of them, right? So we kind of already know that Tay Moore had a really ass childhood. Like, both of his parents were gang affiliated, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were both Crips. His father wasn't really doing much for him to begin with. His mother is literally in a gang. Like, it was a recipe for disaster. I think the only thing his father did for him was move him to Texas. Like, and when that's the only thing your father does, it's just kind of like, you know, I mean, Tay K was young as hell, and when the only thing you really know is gang culture, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't grow up with this nigga, so I really can't like speculate on what his mind was going through. But if I were to put myself in that situation, I just know maybe I wouldn't have turned out, you know, that great
You
either.
just
You
don't
know,
have like nigga, you dead ass don't if you don't see anything, you can't I don't know how why am I being so slow with the way I say it? It's really simple though. Like if you can't see anything else, you're gonna fall into that path. Like you can only follow a path that you've seen before, one way or another, or at least something that you've. That's not entirely true because there are trailblazers, but usually for most people, if you haven't seen anything else, you're gonna follow the path that is most uh openly visible for you. That's
he really
facts.
had to depend on himself to
And
learn
even
certain.
niggas that are trailblazers, usually they're already on a certain path and then they just kind of break off that path to make their own path. You know what I'm saying?
Things, and obviously given his current situation, that didn't turn out so well. So he gets a little older and he starts rapping because he's inspired by rap, and he listens to rap music because, I mean, what else is he gonna do for fun, of course? And obviously he was really good at that, even for his young age. It's not that his bars were like, oh my god, incredible, lyrical, schmirical, you know, lyrical. It was, you know, it was more so about how catchy most of his songs were. Like, I think one of his earliest songs he ever made was when he was like 13 or 14 years old, which is just insane. Like, that goes to show you this kid was dedicated, I won't lie. Even his earliest songs are bangers, like Biv Zanin and Sly Cooper.
Bling bling bling, Pickering fiend, Newport bus, no fucks with me. Scott filled off in a golf RP. Fuck a op singing in a station like Lee.
Them shits are crazy. Like, Bro's Balls hadn't even dropped yet, and he was making better songs than some niggas today. Like Blade. Yes, I still feel that way. I don't care. But during his whole rapping stints, Tay K was hanging around people he should not have been around. Like, for example, that guy who shot that girl after he was catcalling her, where apparently Tay K was in the back seat of the fucking car.
Like, what are
Wow.
you doing, gang?
And I think that dude was in Daytona Boys, if I'm not mistaken, which Daytona Boys had Tay K, Santana Sage, and Pimpies. And they're literally all in jail for life right now, basically.
Eric Johnson is charged with murder for the death.
Oh, so when they
And
be
they're
saying free
literally
Santana, you talking about him?
all in jail for
Okay.
life right now, basically.
Eric
Damn.
Johnson is charged with murder for the death of 20-year-old Sarah Muchlechner. She was shot in
Damn.
the head during a drive-by shooting after a New Year's Eve party in Denton.
Police say on the streets and in social media, he went by Santana Sage. According to court documents, a witness placed Johnson behind the wheel of an SUV that pulled up alongside Muchlechner's sedan New Year's morning. The designated driver with 3 of her friends. Police say Johnson and the other young men in his SUV shouted derogatory, sexually explicit comments at the girls in Muchlechner's car. Muchlechner was shot in the head, crashed
Damn.
into a pole, and later died. Police say
Damn.
at least 2 of the young men in Johnson's SUV were at a party where Muchlechner had been that night, featuring Daytona Boys. Video of the evening performance on Twitter.
Just so stupid and so senseless, bro. I just feel like there were so many examples around him of what you shouldn't be doing. And most of this bullshit, frankly, rubbed off on him. And that's why he, I guess, thought it was okay to involve himself in that situation that caused the death of someone. Which, long story short, which I'm sure you all know by now, was that Tay K and a few other people, including girls, set up some guys at their house to get robbed because they thought they were selling drugs or some shit, which resulted in the death of a man named Ethan Walker. Then after that, during him being on the run, he shot and killed someone in a Chick-fil-A parking lot for whatever reason, after asking that person to come do a photo shoot for him, and then to put salt on the wound.
Wait, what?
After
Hold on.
asking that
I
person to
kind
come to a Chick-fil-A parking lot for being on the run, he shot and killed someone in a Chick-fil-A parking lot
wow.
for whatever reason, after asking that person to come do a photo
That's
shoot for
crazy.
him, and then to put salt on the wound.
It wasn't even a robbery. He just did it for the vibe. Yeah, keep that nigga
Of his
inside,
damn
bro.
camera equipment. Like, you're a dickhead, bro.
Yeah.
With all of that
Okay.
happening, he was sentenced to 55 years in
So I guess it
prison
is a
at the
robbery?
end of his very publicized trial that he was a part of. And in this
It's still
trial, I
slimy,
remember
but
seeing
shit.
people making fun of him because, you know, he's sitting while this trial is going on, obviously, because of the manhunt that he was part of. But I mean, he looks like, you know, like shit. I'm sorry,
it's
for lack of
terrible.
a better word. And I'm not even trying to make humor out of the situation, but because it is sad. But I mean, look at this guy, man. He looks like a fucking turtle. This is what prison does to you, you know? I feel like
And Gucci Mane went to jail. Gucci Mane went to jail and he came out with abs. So I
you
don't
know,
know.
this dude went
Granted, they say they cloned that nigga, but just
from
saying.
YN to accountant. You know, it just sucks because he made good songs. Like, I can't sit up and lie. He had support from, you know, the mainstream media for a reason. They was really rocking with
Yeah.
dude, but he just ended up around the wrong crowd, as everyone would consider, which, you know, sometimes can be a canon event in a young black man's life. Does that sound racist? I don't know. I'm sorry if it does, though. But where Tay more fucked up is the fact that he didn't make his way out of that, you know? Like, okay, I'll use myself as an example, and I've said it on this channel before, but I didn't grow up in a fantastic part of Florida, and I could have very well became a YN, but because I have good examples of parents, I didn't. Unfortunately, with Tay K's parents being literal Crips, he did not have good examples, and it's just like, you know, it is what it is. And talking about stuff like this can be very situational because, you know, there's so many different cases where people come out of messed up situations just fine. So, should he ever be free? Honestly, y'all, if you want me to be real, of course you do.
I mean, okay, to be honest, realistically, he did it when he was what, 18? Now he did do some nut shit. I ain't gonna lie, he did do some nut shit. But at 18, if he goes through like a real rehabilitation, what's it called? Program, I don't see why not. Like when he's like 30, like I don't realistically, I don't know if a nigga, especially why he did, yeah. I don't know if somebody should go to jail at 18 and then just come out at like it should just never come out because of stuff like that. Like the shit that he did was crazy, but it wasn't like how do I say it? It wasn't it's just not lifetime sentence worthy. Like 20 years max. I say 20 years max, bro. At 20 years you're out. And that's a life sentence, I'm pretty sure. But yeah. 20
This man
years you're out
should
of here,
never
nigga.
see outside of these four walls for the rest of his fucking life. Tay K deserves
I respect that
a
opinion, but
lot
I don't
of
agree.
time. Like, okay, 55 years, right? He didn't actually pull the trigger in the first case, but he's not.
In in the first case, that's where I'm saying, like, in the first case, nigga, 15, bro. 15. Cause I think he was 16 when this happened. So it's like, yeah, he got peer pressured and then niggas, you know, whatever. 15 years, 16 years, whatever, nigga. But outside of that, bro, the other shit he did after when he was on the run, that takes up to like 30, to be honest. 20 to 30.
Stupid. Lil Bro
25.
knew exactly what him and them niggas were going to do when they pulled up to that house after sending the setup girls. Then the parking lot shooting is just unnecessary. Like, did you really have to shoot a nigga over his camera equipment, bro? Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
didn't have to
crazy.
do that. Yes, I was reading into the affidavit or whatever it's called, and apparently the dude was like on top of the hood of the car trying to get his shit back, and so he decides to put one in him. That's That's insane. Like that's just OD. And then it's like he has a track record in a sense with the car shooting, you know, and the cameraman, the robbery gone wrong, violating the probation and starting a literal nationwide manhunt, killing someone and beating up an old man. I think that not understanding why he got sentenced to 55 years is just ignorance. And while I was doing this video, I forgot his release date got updated August 8th, 2099.
2099. That's trolls, bro. That's trolls.
Bro is like,
That's
his
trolls,
parole
bro.
officers aren't even alive yet. Like, this is crazy, bro. He's literally never getting out. He's never getting out. Looking at all the surrounding facts, right? He was cool with the dude that murdered an innocent woman for literally no reason at all and showed no remorse over that. He planned to rob some people, even asked for his own gun, followed through with it, and was implicit in the murder of an innocent unarmed man. 2 of those, by the way. My point is that not killing him doesn't make him any less evil, especially when a few days later, he actually went and shot someone else. Again, he expressed no remorse over it, bro. And during his time on the
For real?
run, he was in the car with someone who hit and killed an individual and beat an old man. He has yet to express any guilt or remorse over any of this stuff. Mind you, this nigga was threatening security
Okay.
guards in prison.
If he
during his
hasn't,
trial.
even now he hasn't expressed any remorse, then yeah, okay. Then sure. But
So it's like, I feel like he
I'm saying in a circumstance where a nigga like this does express remorse, I think, 20, 30 type shit. But yeah, nah, he probably should sit down.
deserves every year that he got. And this is coming from somebody that supported him at one point. And still, if I'm not mistaken, and I probably should have looked this up, but I don't know if he's serving them consecutively or not. But like, him being eligible for parole in like 28 years is nuts. Like, the kid was 16. And yes, kids make stupid mistakes when, maybe the first time or second time it was a mistake. But even though kids make mistakes, I've never heard of someone accidentally robbing someone, accidentally going on the run, accidentally cutting off their ankle monitor. Like, even if he did make a mistake somewhere along the line, the actions are just unfortunately always gonna have consequences, bro. He committed very adult crimes as a child with no regard for the value of human life. Is it pushing it to say he deserved to be tried as an adult? I don't know. I feel like Tay K deserves the time he's gotten. And I agree that it's a fucking shame that he threw his life away. But this is his own
I don't
fault, a
get the
result
try
of-
as an adult thing. That doesn't make sense to me because like they're just not an adult though. It just doesn't even make sense on his face. Like I'm not like a lawyer. I don't understand the legal system 100%. Maybe it's like because kids only have a certain amount of time that you can give them, maybe. So I guess that's what it is. But outside of that, I don't get the try as an adult thing.
his own actions. He didn't get his life thrown away. He threw it away. Overall, I'm going to keep beating a dead horse here. The dude deserves every year he got. Tay K, stay the fuck out of, civilian society, please, bro.
That's facts.
You deserve
I should get
it.
restarted.
And something I thought about while making this video,
Oh, no, it's still
while I
going.
was, talking about this stuff, something that popped into my head, and this is for my younger viewers, bro. You don't have to be like a YN, bro. You don't, like, can y'all stick to actually just lying about the shit y'all be doing? Because you don't have to be outside really killing niggas and really robbing niggas, bro. You can lie about it and still get popping. Look at niggas like Summers and Can and a lot of these rappers out here.
A lot of these
lying.
niggas.
And I feel like Tay K got the respect he did, quote unquote, because he was actually on the shit he was saying. I mean, the nigga literally showed his wanted poster.
This is okay. To be fair, this is still the hardest shit ever. I ain't gonna lie.
Video.
Like as a nigga, I was in middle school and this shit happened. That shit was the hardest shit ever. I'm gonna
Don't
keep
get
it a
me
buck.
wrong, that's hard as fuck. But like,
That's hard.
It's not cool. Cause now look at you. Like,
It's kind of cool, but it's not good. It's cool, but it's not good though. Like let's keep it a buck. It is cool, but it's not good. It's not gonna go anywhere good. It's only gonna lead to negativity and destruction, self-destruction. You know what I'm saying? So keep yourself safe, my nigga.
you're in prison forever over some dumb shit, trying to look cool. Like, I don't know, cause I mean, is it fair to say he was trying to look cool? I don't know, but it's just like, guys, you don't you don't have to do this. You literally never ever have to actually do the things you say you do. And look at where that respect got Tay K, bro. I want that to be the takeaway from this video. Remember, y'all, like when he was outside, you know, on the run or whatever, niggas was definitely doing the race remixes and all this nonsense. Where's all that help now? Like, none of that shit got him anywhere. Like, yes, it helped his virality in a sense because, like, okay, it's like, damn, like, he's really out here doing what he's talking about.
I mean,
Like,
the
let
race
King
definitely
look where
got
that
him
got
somewhere.
But if y'all really remember, during the trial, that was one of the things they literally used against him. Like, they were like, oh, you're not taking this seriously. I mean, the guy was shooting music videos while on the run, you know? So it's just like, that honestly made things a lot worse for him, if anything, if we're being real. Actually doing this shit doesn't lead you anywhere good. You're gonna be dead or in jail. And I just feel like Tay K is probably the worst example of like why you should really just stay on the porch, I guess, bro. That's all I got for y'all though, man. I'm UVXEX. My chopper loves me. Later.
It's getting hot. Them boys on you down to your joints.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. So let's describe you now. YouTube works. You know, TikTok works. We going to Cloud9. GBM. Like, we finna be at 100 right now. Thank y'all for 100 in advance. Thank y'all niggas for 100 subs in advance. Keep subbing. We're trying to get to 1K by at least, let's say, August, September, October. You were trying to get to 1K by October. I know it's possible. I love y'all niggas. Now maybe we're going up to Cloud9. You dig? GBM. All right.